Ay, 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 I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel? Holy moly, guacamole in my pockets. What a blessing. Got it on me, I got options, real stepper. Check the shoes, get it poppin'. Eating good, feeling good. Where my hopping done at? Put it on a plate with some lemonade. That's the way we did it in the old days. Back then, mama said, get up, walk up, play. But you better not come home like a kid. Street life, we was young, racing. Street life, carefree was the best time. Fast forward, daydreaming about the next time. When it's gonna happen again, cause I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? How you feel? Turn it up a notch, pop up clean room. Everyday celebration, take a trip vacation. You deserve a day, you deserve a day off. Working for too long, gotta kick back. Turn my cell phone off, wait till I get back. Ooh, yeah, I did that. Living my life with no regrets. So I title, link up, pull up on me. We did chillin', at the spot. What time? Anytime, link up, pull up on me. We the coolin', the chill spot. What time? Party time. I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel?
I can't believe it!
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I got my
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
I got my brother, the one, the only, Francis Lee, and I'm a vampire. Sorry.
If y'all don't know, I mean, you guys should know this by now, but this is Pete Simonetti's favorite time of year. So
Oh
he's
my God, I'm such a child, bro.
gonna be high energy, man. We got some big plans this weekend. It's gonna be a good weekend, man.
Who doesn't
Listen.
love Halloween?
Listen, Brophy.
Goofy!
Mierda
Goofy.
para las águilas, okay? We're not start. Listen.
No te vaya, no te vaya.
No, tú no puedes cantar ese. You can't sing that song wearing that hat. One.
Shit. Hey.
Amigo mío. Dile algo. Dile
Hey.
algo. Tell your friend something, please.
Hey. I've been convinced. Hey.
Hey, one. Take a break from Casa de la Foque too, and tell your friend which team you should be rooting for. I'm about to go get my hat, man. Listen.
You might have to. Hey. We got a ball game to call tonight, all right?
I heard that.
All right.
I heard that Juan's gonna send you a DM. He's gonna tell you. Maybe it didn't go up. They didn't tell you. He's supposed to be.
Hey, I'm flying with the Eagles, all right, baby? And I'm ready. This coffee is good, man.
You know who else likes the Eagles? Your New York Yankees manager, Aaron Boone. He loves those Eagles of Philadelphia. Yeah, that's right. You and Booney, Pete. You didn't think about that, did you?
Maybe they didn't go up there, they didn't tell me.
I'm just trying to put it.
Maybe they didn't go up there, they didn't tell me. I don't know.
I'm just trying to put it in perspective for you, my brother. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We the Tigers. You know what I'm saying? We los Tigres del Licey. You know what I'm saying? And
Unbelievable.
I'm just saying. But good
This
morning.
guy's like Mush from the Bronx Tale over here, giving me bad news left and right. Unbelievable. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing? I see we got Uncle Dom in here. I got Macho King in the house. Got a lot of voicemails this morning. People are hype. The Yankee fans, everybody's fed up. Nobody really cares about the World Series tonight. I'm going to call the game, by the way. Be calling the game tonight. Nobody really cares tonight. Everybody's kind of fed up. They just want the offseason to begin. Based off of my reading and understanding of Yankee fans, for instance, maybe, you feel a little differently. I think a lot of Yankee fans are with me. I've been saying this a lot this offseason. I've been sitting back saying this is the lowest I've felt as a Yankee fan in a very long time. And I'll be honest with you, I get a lot of responses from Yankee fans, and they just say straight up, I feel the same way. I don't know if you feel that way, but I think the presser that Cashman and Boone had really set a lot of Yankee fans back. I can't even share what my father said about them. I can't share it live because, I might get canceled. But Pop Simonetti was not happy after watching those two gentlemen speak.
It wasn't a mood booster in any way. I mean, just off the rip, right before we even heard a word either of them had to say, when you realize that Hal Steinbrenner wasn't going to be in attendance, right? When it was announced that the postmortem was going to be done.
But Francis, he's just the owner. What the owner of the Royals doesn't do that.
Just the owner, just the guy where every dollar that we spend on the team goes to him. That's it. That's all he is. Like that's every time we buy a ticket, every time we buy a hat, every time we buy a jersey, every time we watch a game, every time just the guy who gets all of that.
Sorry,
yeah, that's all.
Alex is in here.
That's all he is.
He convinced me, by the way. Be mad at Alex. It's not even Kev.
Let me tell you.
Alex more than anybody.
No, me and Alex going to have some words, man. I think Alex doesn't think you suffer enough having to call 162 plus Yankee games here. Now he wants you to suffer more with the Piss Eagles, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong.
Wow. Oh, they are yellow too.
That's what I call
something. Hey, wow.
That's what I call them.
That's wild. Piss Eagles.
I'm just listen. Francis Lee is not an Eagles fan in any stretch of the imagination. Not a Philly Eagles, not the Dominican one. I don't like them. Okay, the only listen. If it was up to me, our national animal bird, whatever, it would not be an eagle. I don't like it.
I'll tell you what, man. This is absolutely crazy.
Not the eagle drop.
Wait, Alex said Lise is homeless? They got no home team, no home field?
He don't know what he's talking about, bro. What does he call Quisqueya then?
They can't. They're not the poverty. Don't tell me they're the poverty franchise.
Whose home is the Quisqueya, Alex? Whose home is it, really? Let's think about that.
Alex knows his lead home, I tell you.
He should.
I got to go up there, I tell you.
He should, which is why he should not be saying that.
Macho said the shit birds. Damn, that's even worse.
The dirty birds.
Jose Medina says Lise owns the country. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about let's continue on where we're with the Yankees and Hal Steinbrenner. I'm so confused by a lot of Yankee fans out there, by the way, that are saying he doesn't have to speak. Like, I'm just so confused by that. I really am like overly not understanding where people feel that he should not have to answer to the fan base at all. And you just leave it up to Brian Cashman to say, yeah, I talked to Hal Steinbrenner. He's very upset. All right, move on. Next question. I'm just so confused why fans feel that Hal Steinbrenner deserves a pass. And Francis, I'm happy you brought something up a couple of weeks back when you said, look, him spending on payroll isn't a pass anymore. It's not a buy. And I'm happy you did that. You want to know why I'm happy you did that? I've said that before.
Yeah.
I've said in the past, well, look, guys, I mean, he should be mad at the person spending his money, but he is spending the money. But you're 100% right. When you don't do anything additional, spending your money is an investment. You're making that money back quite a bit. So you are making an investment into the team. And on top of it, let's be honest, folks. I know he doesn't have to, but he kind of has to. You know what I mean? It's like that double-edged sword that, yeah, he could cut payroll significantly, but the blowback is going to be pretty ugly. Like the blowback would be worse than the Yankees playing baseball games, put it that way. It's going to be really bad. So for him, the investment of doing that is one thing. Now, there are some rumors out there that they do want to cut payroll to like 275.
Yeah.
If that's the case, you could go ahead and get the headstone from this year and just place it to 2026 because they ain't going to do dick. I'm just saying it right now. They ain't going to do dick. They got to do what the Dodgers have done and just literally just go all out because Aaron Judge is getting older. You don't know what Garrett Cole's going to be. You never know if you're going to get the same year from Max Fried again. You don't know if Bellinger's coming back. You don't know what moves the Yankees are going to make. You don't know if they're going to keep running Anthony Volpe out there. This is why I'm at the all-time low, the bottom of the barrel with this club. I'm scared.
Yeah. No. I mean, when I look at it, it's like they're talking about this, and I'm inclined to believe it because it's not it's not anybody report. It's Joel Sherman was the one to kind of put that out very early in the offseason. And it's not really the offseason yet because the World Series Game 1 does start tonight. You're calling that, right?
Yeah, I got tonight's game.
So you guys know where to watch for the best call in the business. But yeah, he put that out early that the Yankees are looking to, that Hal Steinbrenner is probably more inclined to cut payroll, get around 275 after being up above, in recent years. But let's be real. At the end of the day, when people bring up, right, that he's spending $300 million every year and stuff like that or whatever, I'm sorry. At this point, the reason I said it a couple weeks ago is because it's no longer something that I'm going to use to continue to qualify him as an owner. When you see the revenue that this team is generating every single year, year in, year out, right? That 300 just doesn't impress me the way that it used to. And then when you look at what other teams are doing around us, I mean, our contemporaries, I'm not talking about Pittsburgh. Okay, which by the way, another hat that kind of looks like the Aguilas hat is the Pittsburgh hat, and that tells you a lot, right there.
Black and yellow.
But
the Steelers.
Yeah, you look at well, Steelers are okay, but they also haven't won in a while. But you look at the money that's being spent, and you say, oh well, it is a lot, right? If you compare it to Pittsburgh, if you compare it to Tampa Bay, if you compare it to the St. Louis Cardinals, yeah, whatever, sure, it's a lot of money. But are those the Yankees contemporaries? No. And we all know that. You know what the Yankees contemporaries are doing with the revenue they're getting? They're reinvesting over 80%, 90% directly into the team's payroll. All right. Yeah. The Mets are at 90-something% of the revenue goes back into the payroll. The Mets in the same city as the New York Yankees. So I'm sorry if the $300 million payroll doesn't impress me anymore. I'm sorry. What will impress me is the percentage. I'm not looking at a number. And my issue is that people are telling me that Hal Steinbrenner is looking at a number, but he's looking at the wrong one. Instead of looking at the overall payroll number, 275, 330, 380, 400, you need to look at the percentage, because the percentage is going to tell you a lot more. The percentage of that revenue that goes into the payroll, right? Because we're doing our part as fans. Now, the moment that we stop buying tickets, that we stop showing up, that we stop buying jerseys, that we stop buying all types of memorabilia and stuff like that, and that revenue number goes down, if the payroll goes down with it, I feel like we'd only have ourselves to blame. But the fact of the matter is, the revenue is only going up.
Yep.
And yet the payroll is staying the same. He's spending around, what is it? I think it's like 47%.
40-something%.
It's 40-something%.
And then you got, like you said, you got the Mets at like almost, what is it, 80-something or 90-something, and the Dodgers I think are 70.
The Dodgers are up there too. So when you look at that, you're not talking about a small difference, Pete. You're not talking about, oh, well, we're just 5% trailing the Mets, or we're just 10% trailing the Dodgers. You're talking about a swing of 30% in terms of what percentage of the revenue is going directly back into the payroll. That is egregious. That's asinine that the New York Yankees are comfortable with that. And that Hal Steinbrenner, I can't even say fix his lips to say, because we haven't heard a word from him at all. But that Hal Steinbrenner would put it out through his bitch boy channels that he wants to bring payroll down to 275. And at the end of Aaron Judge's prime, at the end of Garrett Cole's prime, at the end of Carlos Rodon's prime.
It's terrible, man.
What are we doing?
It's absolutely terrible. I think I got some of it pulled up that I can actually just run by some of it real quickly. Alex, you could read. Can you read that one for me? Alex?
Let me pull this one. Alex says, "Man, Pete looks good with that black and yellow Aguilas hat. It suits you well, brother. Actions beats words, Francis. Yeah, action. That's true." And the action I want to talk about is the actions of the Aguilas last year in the round robin. Alex, could you refresh my memory what happened to them? And while you're at it, why don't we talk about the year before that?
And talk about it
again. Why don't we talk about the year before? I could do this all day, man.
Maybe they go up there and tell you. I don't know. But
I love it, Alex. He's a real fan, though. I'll give him that. He's a real fan. Stays with his team. I love it.
So this might have been from 2024, I believe, not the most recent year, but the Dodgers 637 million in revenue, 428 million payroll. You got, as Francis said before, the New York Mets with 441 million revenue, 450 on the payroll. I'm like, that's crazy. They're paying out more than what the previous revenue was.
The Mets are at 90%.
Yeah, I mean that's insane. And then you got the Yankees, the top of the top, 720 million, 376 at the time on the payroll, which I don't know where they're getting the 376 number from, because I don't think the Yankees were ever at 376. I don't know
what they're including. So this is payroll plus the tax bill. So what happens?
Okay, so they're
you got your
including
payroll,
everything.
You got your payroll number, then you got the percentage of the tax you have to pay, and then you have the surcharge depending on which tier you're going over. So the Yankees have been paying the tax plus the surcharge, right? Which means that a payroll that ends up around 280, 290, you really end up paying 340, 350.
Yeah.
Here's my thing though. If the Yankees paid a $400 million bill at the end of 2026, and they generated $750 million,
Right.
do you know that their revenue would still be not their revenue total. I mean the revenue split, what's left after the payroll. The 350 million that remains would still be higher than like half of the teams.
Yeah, it would. No, it would be. It would be, because not many teams are over the 300 plus. So yeah, it would significantly surpass many of the clubs out there. And that's the thing, man. We're not. Francis said it right. It's not that we want to beat up Hal Steinbrenner, we want to beat up the Yankees regarding this. The fact of the matter is, you can't sit there and preach we want to win, but you're doing it wrong. This is a club right now that, again, has some aging legends. I mean, Aaron Judge, you can make a case that maybe he's the greatest right-handed hitter of all time. You got him on your club. You went to the World Series in 2024. And then let's be honest, man, you were made a clown in the World Series. And then this postseason, you were made a clown. I mean, you just got beat. And, there wasn't like many like huge errors where you're like, oh shit, the Yankees beat themselves. Toronto beat them. Now, Jazz did make a big blunder that kind of put the nail in the coffin against the Toronto Blue Jays. There's no denying that. But even if Jazz comes up with that play, the Yankees, I don't think even wins that series at all either way. Obviously, a lot could change, but they lost. You know what I mean? Yeah. They lost. And now they're entering a season, and the owner, according to Joel Sherman, who seems to have a pretty good relationship with Hal Steinbrenner specifically, basically comes out and says they might want to lower payroll. And by the way, folks, if you don't understand necessarily what that means, that probably means one big free agent signing, and that is it. And then it's going to be up to Brian Cashman to kind of, do trades and all that other stuff. Alex says we're in 2025, Francis. Aguilar won in 2021. Okay, a little 2021 action there. It was a couple of years back then. Kind of feel like
he's right. He's right. They did win in 2021. Can he tell me who went back to back in 2022 and 2023? Because I forget. Was it the Aguilas? No, that's right. It wouldn't be them. No. That's right.
Was it a team that wears blue?
I think it's the ones that wear the blue.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the ones that wear the blue. That's right.
That makes sense.
It was us.
Anyway, so yeah. You got the Yankees there right now. That's what a lot of people are saying, is that, oh my God, if they cut back or if they don't, what are they going to do? Rumors galore has picked up, right? You have all the rumors out there now. This is rumor mill season. Everybody.
Even John Heyman's getting started.
John Heyman's getting started early. That's the first one I want to talk about, because me and Kev talked about it a little bit. I didn't get your opinion on it.
Yep.
Look, I'm going to sit here and just say this, as I said before. I don't believe Bryce Harper is going to be traded. I think that was a Dave Dombrowski thing to kind of get this man going. Me and you personally know how much he's loved in Philadelphia, and kind of how much they love Bryce Harper there, and how much he loves being in Philadelphia. And I was telling Kev, it reminded me a lot of when Soto came to the Yankees and he had the season in San Diego. And everybody was like, oh, he's declining. He's getting worse. It was one of his worst years. And I'm looking at Harper's season, because I'm going around seeing so many people saying Bryce Harper had a horrible season. And I'm looking around like the guy hit 27 bombs and 500 at bats, like a 340 something on base. Like, what are you, bad season?
It just shows how great he is, honestly. That's what's considered a down year. I said the exact same
Oh, he was
words
injured.
about
I'm like,
Soto. I said the exact same words about Soto when we traded for him. And oddly enough, it was Mets fans saying, "Oh, well, he's coming off a down year. He's declining. He's not even going to be that good. He can't play right field. Like he's going to suck, whatever." It was the Mets fans saying that, by the way. And my response was, that just tells you how great a player these guys
yeah,
are. But when you look at the numbers in a quote unquote down year, it's like that would be somebody's best season. Like if Anthony Volpe put up those numbers,
shit.
would there be any talk about Anthony
No.
Volpe? No. But
No.
I have to say, I'm a little, I would say I'm a little more in the middle, and the only reason that I am a little more in the middle with the Bryce Harper stuff is because Dombrowski's so freaking calculated, and he's so good at what he does. I mean, look, the Phillies
is.
haven't been able to get over the hump. That's true, but in recent years anyway, because they have won in the past, right? But
Yep.
in recent years, they just keep, doing this same thing where they're, they flirt with being the best team in baseball throughout the season. And, they roar into October and Red October is ready to go and the stadium's rocking. And then they just fall flat. It's like, I really don't have another way to put it. People aren't going to like it, but they give me Yankee vibes. They give me Yankee vibes. They give me National League Yankee vibes that, the regular season, and they beat up on people. They have stretches where they look dominant. They look unbeatable.
Yep. Pitching looks amazing.
And then October comes around and they just get beat. Like they just get beat. They have a Goliath that they just can't get past. And it doesn't matter who it is, right? It's been the Mets. It's been the Dodgers. For the Yankees, take your pick. This year it was Toronto. Last year it was the Dodgers. And years past it was the Astros. And before it was the Red Sox.
Tampa.
Tampa even. That's what it gives me. That's what it gives me in Philadelphia. But I say all that to say when I looked at those comments though, it feels like there's a chasm that's grown between Harper and Dombrowski. And Harper's an emotional dude, man. Harper wears it on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he does feel like, these people, this guy's not, he's not valuing me properly. He's taking me for granted. Harper is not a dude that's down on himself. You guys could look at his year and say, "Oh, he had a bad year." Harper, I know for sure Bryce Harper still believes in himself, and he's like, "Oh, well, if you think I'm a declining player, then you know what? Send me somewhere else." Because I'm sure he would love to show
to prove it
somewhere else. So, I mean, to me, it's like I'm not as high on it as Joel Sherman was when he was speaking about it, but I would put Harper getting traded at about a 45% chance.
Wow.
Pretty freaking
wow,
high.
you're a little higher than I am. I still put it like in the low 20s.
Yeah.
Because I could obviously see the possibility of it and see if it could happen. And he does have a full no trade clause, so you got to believe a team like the Yankees would be very simple for him to say, "Yeah, I'll go to the Yankees." I think 100%.
Sure.
And he might. Here's the thing that people don't tend to
list.
remember. That's what I'm saying, man. If that ever did happen, he was open to it. I think he may just simply say, "That's where I want to go." Then, if you're gonna have a conversation, that's the team I want to play for, and they could figure out to make that work. And one of the things that, and again, look, man, I'm not looking to push back on anybody everybody has their own opinion. You're fine with that. I'm just really trying so hard here to understand where the bad year was. Like truly. And again, I'm more than open to anybody sitting there saying, "Hey, here's what it is, Pete. Here's what I've seen." Now, look, I think defensively, he had his worst year defensively. According to Baseball Reference, he still had a 3.2 WAR, and he missed about 100 at-bats. He's probably a 4 WAR player, even on a very, very down year and poor defensively. The year prior, it was a above average first baseman defensively. It was above average. This year, he was average, slightly average, right? But again, 500 at-bats, 27 homers. He had 261, a 357 on-base percentage, 487 slugging, a 129 OPS plus. I'm just confused. Where was the down season? Okay, he had a bad postseason. Did we say Aaron Judge is no longer a good player because he had countless bad postseasons in a row? And then, this year he did unbelievable. Unfortunately, nobody else wanted to join the party with him, but I'm just a little confused. And this is not me saying, "Oh, I'm arguing this because I want Bryce Harper." No, I'm arguing it with because I don't get it. Where's the down season?
It's a narrative though. And I think that's what we battle with in 2025 with the advent of, excuse me, social media, Statcast, Fangraphs, Savant, people go, they read numbers, right, and they create narratives. And a lot of times, these are sometimes it starts with people who are actually educated and know ball. But what happens when idiots pick it up, they just start running with it and they don't know what they're running with, right? So they can take somebody saying, well, Harper's coming off a down year. An idiot on Twitter reads that and says, Harper had a bad year, bro. Like, what do you mean? No. That's not what they said. They said he's coming off a down year. But you have to understand, everything is relative. The theory of relativity. A down year for Bryce Harper is as up as it's going to go for a large part of this league.
Yep.
Like, people don't understand how hard it is to produce at the major league level in 2025.
Consistently, yeah.
Harper is a guy who has done it. And I don't want to go into this whole thing about Bryce Harper, but I feel like we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't. Like, people forget who Bryce Harper is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bryce Harper was, he came up with as much hype as freaking Mike Trout. All right? Everybody remembers Mike Trout, Big Fish, whatever. Harper had just as much. Harper was on Sports Illustrated in high school. Okay, do you understand?
Yep.
Like, that doesn't happen. Was Aaron Judge on Sports Illustrated in high school? You didn't know Aaron Judge's name when he was in high school. Let's be real, okay?
A lot of people didn't know in the minor leagues.
This dude, Bryce Harper, has had the spotlight on him since he was 15, 16 years old. And guess what he has done? Every single time, he's freaking delivered. He delivered in high school. He delivered when he was drafted. He delivered on the Nationals, and he's delivered on the Phillies. So make no mistake about it. If he was to get traded, and if by some miracle it was to put him in pinstripes, there's no doubt in my mind that he wouldn't deliver here. I think opening freaking day, he puts one so high into right fucking field that the stadium might have to pause for 3 freaking minutes. You understand?
Well, it's Francis. It's crazy to me, right? Because a lot of people, they don't necessarily understand or truly get it when I talk about these things. The Yankees had the wheel that worked, and they decided to walk away from it. What was the wheel that worked? The wheel that worked was a very good lefty with a high on-base percentage and good pop in front of Aaron Judge. You saw it right in front of you with Juan Soto.
Yep.
And the Yankees lost Soto. They brought in Cody Bellinger, but they never kind of played Bellinger right there. They never kind of played into that. They did it a little bit with Ben Rice, and they started doing Ben Rice too and Judge, which by all means I'd be very okay with.
Sure.
But it's weird to me that the Yankees just don't understand that. They just don't see it because, and the reason why they don't see it is because no matter what Brian Cashman wants to say, their head is so far up their asses of the analytical side of things, they can't see regular baseball and what has worked. They try to continue to reinvent the wheel of something that has always worked for the Yankees, is an old school style batting order. And they've continued to get away from that. And just the 2-3 alone with a guy like Soto and then Judge, or a guy like Harper and Judge, or a guy like Rice and Judge, or a guy like Tucker and Judge, whatever it could be, that is the way that has worked for the Yankees. They got a proven result from that. And for some reason, I know me personally, you guys heard me saying it, got a bad belly too, right? I mean, let him jump right into what has worked, and they didn't do that. They decided to go against that. So
that's where we all were before last season when we said, okay, you got Belly here, put him in the best position to succeed. We don't want to see him batting behind Aaron Judge. We don't want to see him batting leadoff. We want to see him batting second right before Judge. But they did it a handful of times, but they were never committed to that. They were never married. They were
never consistent.
The way that they were with Soto. With Soto, they just got it. They understood, like, we can't play around here. Soto's 2, Judge's 3, and that's every single game that these guys are in the lineup together. And they didn't deviate from that, and it paid the dividends that it did. With Cody Bellinger, they started getting cute again, and they started moving Belly around and putting this around, whatever. But when you have somebody, and that's why I spoke about it a couple weeks ago when we were talking about, like, how would you approach it, whatever. That's why I brought up the name Kyle Tucker, because Kyle Tucker is so freaking good offensively that it's another situation where the Yankees would have no choice but to bat him ahead of Judge, because they know you can't play with that. You have to put him ahead of Aaron Judge. You have to put the opposing starting pitchers in hell. You have to. That's your job. With Cody, they feel like, no, he's he's more dynamic, a different type of hitter. He can move a little bit, whatever. We could put him behind Judge, and we could, maybe even drop him down to 4 or 5 or whatever. We could tinker, we could whatever. But with certain guys that are that top heavy, they don't play because it's just cut and dry, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like guys like that. That's why I like guys like Bryce Harper. You understand?
Yep.
Because Harper is a guy who they're also not going to be able to play with like that.
No way.
Harper's gonna want to know.
I agree.
He's the kind of guy who, if say they traded for him tomorrow, right? And we can get into like what we actually believe the percentages are that he even if he is traded, that he ends up a Yankee, because that's a whole different conversation.
Of course.
But say he is traded here tomorrow. Harper, I feel like one of the first conversations Harper has, whether it be with Cashman or Aaron Boone, is, listen, I know you guys like to, change lineups and do a lot of things or whatever. I'm a creature of habit. I prefer to be in a spot that I know I'm going to be at every single day, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys are hitting me ahead of Judgy, then let's do it. Let's rock out and let's keep that, right? So let's not deviate from that, okay?
Yep.
If I slump for a little bit, if he slumps for a little bit, let's just keep that, all right? And let's roll with that or whatever. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not 20-something years old anymore. I'm not whatever. Like, I need to know. I don't need to show up early to the park and go looking for the freaking lineup card to see the number on that. And like, I'm not trying to do that at this point in my career. You can't play with like that with a guy like Bryce Harper.
Yep.
And that's why I like those kinds of players, because they're kind of idiot proof. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
They're kind of idiot proof. Like, you can't mess that up.
You're right. You're right. No doubt about it. And some big news today regarding somebody else. And like I said, these winter meetings are probably going to be a bit jam-packed this year, because this isn't a year where there's like this elite free agent class. It's not one of those years. You got some good players out there, but I think a lot of people are going to be looking at the trade market. And Jim Bowden is reporting today that Scooble is going to be heavily discussed at the winter meetings. And it's funny because I've actually seen Yankee fans go back and forth on this, and I'm like, wow, like, to go back and forth on this is kind of interesting to me, because we can sit there all day and say, well, maybe if there's a player out there that's, a good free agent starting pitcher, maybe I could see the Yankees kind of not going after that, because they did just the last couple of years, they have signed big free agents in the starting rotation area, of course, as recently as Max Fried. But Garrett Cole's on the way back. Rodon's going to miss time. Cole is going to miss time. He's not going to, immediately join the club to begin the year.
No.
Fried is going to be there. Cam Schlittler, we know everything else. All the pitching the Yankees do have. But what is the move? What is it going to be? Will the Yankees be one of the teams? Now, I can simply say, I don't know how they wouldn't be one of the teams very interested in Scooble. I think you'd have to be interested in Scooble very much. And that would have to also come down to the Yankees simply sitting there saying, everybody's available. Now, here's what I would throw out there. When we say everybody's available, that also means that the Tigers don't care that it's 1 year. The Tigers don't give a shit that it's one season. The Tigers are going to sit there and say, this is the best pitcher in the planet. And if you want him, we'll keep him. I mean, we could trade him at the deadline. We're in no rush to deal him right now. If you want him, you're going to give us what we're asking you for. And they could sit back and go, well, we're starting with Ben Rice and Cam Schlittler. And then you guys have that conversation. And anybody sitting, oh, no, that's crazy. The ball's in their court. They don't have to trade anybody. Would it be better for them potentially to do it now because there's more time attached? Yeah. But they don't have to budge. They could look at the Yankees and go, that's the deal. That's what we want. And then you could have a team like the Mets who, let's be honest, they're a little more itchy than the Yankees are to get some starting pitching.
Especially especially because he'd be cheap.
Yeah, and that's for the year, he'd be cheap. And then, Cohen could take his time and figure out how much money do I have to go ahead and drop on this guy.
And that's if, because I know Mets fans are like pining for Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, that's the big conversation for them.
Yeah, it's like the most excited fan base I see talking about it, but I don't know. Like David Stearns is an enigmatic guy. Like you don't really know where, and it's like he could be looking and saying like, listen, Steve, I know you got the wallet for it, but I mean, just look at how much money we've spent in recent years, and look at the guys that we have. Look at how good Tong looked. Look at how good McLean looked. Look at Sproat. He's on his way. Like we got young ballers coming up here. I mean, these guys aren't going to cost you anything, and these guys might be 1, 2, 3 in your rotation. Like, I mean, do we need to trade prospect capital for a guy that we're going to have to pay an exorbitant amount of money a year from now? Do we need to do that, Steve? And will trading for him be the piece that puts us over? This one guy, is he going to put us over? Because it's probably going to cost two of the guys I just named to you. And
And on top of that too, you do have Imai out there, who's a top Japanese pitcher. So if he's posted, that's just a little. That's money right there, and they could easily get that deal done. And that dude is legit. That dude is legit.
And look at how good Senga has worked out for them.
That's what I'm saying. So you've already had that experience. Senga knows him, obviously.
Yeah.
They've played in the same league, so you got that immediate experience. So
Senga, and don't get me wrong, if I'm a Mets fan though, I still would be fantasizing about Scuba 1, Senga 2, healthy,
of course,
and then Soto, Lindor, and we bring back Alonso. Like, we got to do some. I mean, obviously, got to do some moves in the bullpen. Got to pay Edwin Diaz if you're. That's another thing too. Like, conversation I haven't seen too much around Mets land though is like, how sure are you that the Mets are paying Diaz? Like,
true,
because I don't.
True.
Again, David Stearns is an enigma, and yes, the Mets bullpen needs help. But is he going to pay the money? Because Diaz is going to get money. Is he going to do that? Because I'm telling you right now, like as a Yankees fan, I mean, I don't know if I said it live, but I know I've been saying this in the chat. Like, I am so sworn off paying closers.
Yeah, me
right
too.
now, like not paying closers. Don't get me. I mean, paying closer money.
Yeah,
like I'm done. Yeah. If Aroldis Chapman is the last time we pay that kind of money for a closer, I'd be very happy about that. Yep. Like I think the way that the game is gone, that's not conducive to winning anymore.
Yep. Agreed. 100%.
So I don't know. It's really interesting, but I agree with you. I don't know if he is made available. I mean, and you're Brian Cashman. I don't know how you completely ignore that market. Like you can't. You
can't. And that's the thing. It's like, I've seen a lot of Yankee fans talk about, well, I can't give up Cam Schlittler and all that. Well, what do you think the Tigers are going to ask for? I mean, that's the thing that people got to understand is that like the Tigers are in a position where they're holding. First of all, they're a team that went to the AL. They went to the ALDS. They lost in the ALDS. They won the wild card round. They went to the ALDS.
Yeah.
I think they may have had they really just tailed off in the second half of the season. Month and a half. They really just went to hell.
Yeah, the collapse was a lot earlier than the playoffs.
Yeah, the collapse was absolutely insane. So that's a team right there that, at the end of the day, they're sitting there going, we're looking to compete in a big way. We're not going to have the best pitcher on the planet and say we'll give him away. Like you're gonna have to do something really good unless we just hold on to them. We see where things are and we do it at the deadline, where you could have teams that are desperate at the deadline and they kind of have a better understanding of where their club is. It's a 1-year rental, could be a half-year rental if it's a deadline or a couple of months rental, but you'd probably get the most value for him now. But that's something that the Tigers are going to be able to hold above anybody's head and say, no, that's what we want. Like it's got to start with one of those guys then, and then some of the big additional prospects that we know of already. And, your Spencer Jones, your Jason Dominguez, your Carlos Agranje, your ERC. I mean, it's going to start with all of those type of players and the ones that are in the majors already. People are saying Will Warren. No, they're not going to sit there and say, you guys got Cam Schlittler. We're going to want Will Warren. What are you, nuts?
Listen.
If you want him as a throw-in later, potentially, but nah, man.
He's like
Lombard's father, by the way. Lombard's father coaches on the Tigers. You don't think that's going to be a name they're going to run out there immediately?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think I was going to say, so you actually took the point right out of my mouth. I was going to say, I don't know if people realize that Lombard's father is a coach there, and the Yankees aren't the only people high on George Lombard Jr. This is not an Anthony Volpe situation.
No.
And I don't mean to throw shots at Volpe, but I really don't like him right now. So, George Lombard Jr. to me is actually probably the first name that comes out of their mouths because I feel like they're like, look, we have an offense that is pretty freaking dynamic, but we bring this kid in with our hitting team and the guys we already have in the room, your Riley Greens and stuff like that. I mean, we're looking at a freaking legit star. This kid's going to be big time over here. And I mean, his dad's over here. I mean, look, it's a great freaking story. And Hinch is an amazing coach. He knows how to play. He knows how to play the room. I feel like, yes, obviously you're trading away your ace and you would like to get pitching back. But I feel like the first name out of their mind is probably George Lombard, even before a guy like Ben Rice. And I think it has a lot to do with the ceiling that they see for a guy like George Lombard and how much more dynamic he is on the field versus a Ben Rice. I think
Yep.
George Lombard is a guy that, yeah, he plays shortstop, but you could also see him as a third baseman. You could probably see him as a second baseman. It's
Second
really
base too, yep.
whatever you need. By the way, Gleyber Torres is a free agent this year. So
Yeah.
that could be something that they talk about. Like another thing I was thinking about, hear me out. Some people might say, wait, what? Like that's not a name I would expect to be in the talk like that at all. Hear me out. Like I said, Gleyber Torres is a free agent this year. Jazz Chisholm might be a name that Brian Cashman says, you guys need a second baseman. We got a guy who steals 40 and hits 30, right? He's a name. Yes. Is it, you can say, oh, well, it's money or whatever. Yeah, it's money, but it's money for how long? Jazz Chisholm is a free agent very soon. So Detroit's not taking on very much money. And they're getting an all-star caliber player who runs havoc on the bases, who hits like nobody's business. And you're taking him out of the big city market and bringing him to the Central where he's only going to be better. He's going to be better. Like he will go there, and you see what Gleyber Torres looked like the first half of the season. You think that was good? Imagine what Jazz Chisholm does over there. Freaking so, again, not a name that's conventional that people think, why would they Jazz Chisholm? Really? Dude, 40 stolen bases, 30 plus homers. The Tigers are, I think they're listening there. Is he gonna be the headliner of that deal? No. The headliner has to be younger than a Jazz Chisholm and have more control than a Jazz Chisholm. But I don't think it necessarily has to be Cam Schlittler. I think Brian Cashman has to be smart. He has to be creative, which is kind of where they struggle. But listen, ERC was the pitcher of the year for the Yankees. Minor league pitcher of the year for the Yankees. He's a name that everybody knows. He came from the Boston Red Sox system. He's not an unknown guy. He's been in two systems now, and he's done this in two different places. People are taking notice, even more so than Carlos Lagrange, who we're very high on here. But he's been with us the whole time, so people may not be as believing as much as they are with ERC because they see them in two different places, and he's done it in two. They're like, okay, this kid might be legit. He's a name who it wouldn't shock me if Detroit was like, we need him in the deal. We need, like, again, if you're talking Jazz Chisholm, okay, we can do Jazz. That bolsters our lineup, gives us a good glove at second base. We don't got to pay Gleyber. He's definitely going to make less than Gleyber is on the free market right now because Gleyber's a free agent. Jazz is not, right? Okay, we'll take Jazz. But we want ERC, who was your minor league pitcher of the year. And you know what? Give us a Louis Hill on top of that because he's already proven in the big leagues. That's three players, and that's a lot already.
Yeah.
At that point, it probably still takes a throw in. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. The ball's legitimately in their court, but like you said, Brian Cashman got to get creative, and that just has not been, his thing. Brian Cashman has really. There's been a couple of creative deals where you're like, all right, man, I kind of get behind that one. I like that. But it's not his MO. His MO is not to be overly creative. It's kind of let me find the salary dump and I'll jump in there because we could take the money and give nothing up. That's kind of been the MO. Or a guy that is not many people know him, and we got some readings on him, and he comes here and does pretty well, and it's like that. I kind of find those dumpster divers that end up working pretty well for us, even if it's for a year. But that's kind of been his thing overall. So it's going to be a very, very interesting offseason. There's no doubt about that. The World Series starts tonight. Once the World Series ends, 5 days after the World Series, that's when you're going to start hearing immediately about this guy opted out. It's official. That one opted out. Here's what it's looking like. People could start negotiating and talking.
People decline the qualifying offers. You'll see who gets them. You'll see who declines them.
Yep.
I am really worried about a specific player and a qualifying offer.
Trent Grisham.
Yep. I am really worried. I started like that first week after we lost saying there's no way. There's no way they QO him because they know he'll probably just take it and run. I was like, there's no way. And then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Belly's a free agent. They don't know for sure that they're getting him back. He is a Boris guy, and Scott Boras is a dick. So
yeah, Boris ain't accepting no.
Do you hedge
4-year deal or some shit?
Exactly. So do you hedge your bet and say, even if we lose Belly, we can still say, hey, Trent, run it back 1 year, pretty decent money. You're the starting center fielder, like whatever. And I'm like, it just sounds so freaking Yankees and so freaking Hal, especially if he's trying to get to 275. And it's scaring me because I think if they QO him, I don't know how Trent Grisham turns, what is it, almost 20 million this year?
I think it's more to that, isn't it? I think the qualifying offer is more than 20 million.
The last I checked, it was like, because it rises every year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's more than 20 million this year.
Let's look this up in real time so that we have a number to actually play with. I just know that whatever that number is, I hate paying for that number.
Yeah, pretty sure it's fairly high.
It's 22.025.
22 million, yeah. So let's just say it's 22 flat.
Which is high.
Yeah.
22 million.
That's high for Trent, because I've said it since like the middle of the year when people ask me about Trent Grisham. Like, I think somebody's gonna actually pay him for real. Like, I really think somebody's gonna give him like a 3-4 year deal. I truly believe that.
Yeah, no, I think and guess what? I'm not saying he's not worth it. I think Trent Grisham is worth about a 3 to 4 year deal in the 12 to 15 million AAV range.
I think he gets even more than that.
I don't think he's worth that for the Yankees. You see, that I don't know. I've also seen people say that too. Like,
yeah, I really do. I really do.
20 million a year.
I think there's gonna be like some team that just really buys into what he did this season.
Or really,
and I don't know if it gets to the 20s. People. I don't know if it gets there. Maybe he gets 16, 17, 18 million a year. I could truly see something like that, like on a 3 or 4 year deal. I think somebody's gonna knock his socks off.
I really do. I would say I could see. Right. And I would still think it's crazy is 17, 18 million.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I think he's going to be around.
To me,
I really do.
I think that's crazy. I look at Trent Grisham, and even with the year that he just had, I'm like, look at him the last 5 years, right? Look at the player.
Yep.
Let's be real. And also look at the way he, like, yes, the defense wasn't horrible this year, but there were times this year where I was like, Trent, what the hell are we doing? Right.
Yeah. Multiple times.
And this is a contract year. This is a contract year. When I look at all of that, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I see a 12 to 15 million, and 15 to me is on the high end. Now, if you want to get crazy, right? Because there's another team and they like him too and whatever like that. Okay, fine. You know what? Give him the extra 2-3 million a year. 17 million, 18 million. If it gets to the 20, 21, people are losing their freaking
that's
mind.
Absolutely nuts. I agree.
That's why I'm sitting here saying 22 million for Trent Grisham in 2026. I would really want to off myself. What are we doing? Like, what? Why are we doing that? And then
that's crazy.
We'll pay him 22 million and then be nickel and diming and crying broke at the deadline. Well, we can't trade for people because we gotta stay under the lines and whatever. This is the shit that they do.
Yep.
That's why I'm getting scared about that.
Yep, no doubt about it. Rod Thompson says, let's keep it a stack. There was incredible hype on Volpe. Do we really trust the Yankees to develop Lombard? The Yankees' lane as of recent has been pitchers, trade position players.
Lombard.
I don't think it's. I was gonna say, I don't think it's necessarily fair to compare the both of them. I think there were always red flags with Anthony Volpe, and a lot of people didn't want to talk about it specifically. I know I did. Everything that is wrong with Anthony Volpe, again, you could go back to before he even came up, and a lot of people were ripping me apart because I'm sitting there saying expect 240, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, how can you say that about a 300 hitter?" I'm like, expect 240 because it's the major leagues, and I was told about some things that a lot of scouts have seen that scare them about him. I talked about it before. There was a former GM who told me straight up his organization does not like Anthony. They don't believe in him. They don't believe he's that good of a talent that the Yankees and some other clubs think he is. And we've kind of seen that unfold in real time. Anthony Volpe has not been a good player. Whether people want to sit there and go, well, what about defense? Okay, whatever. If you want to make that your hill to die on and say Anthony Volpe has been good because he's been pretty good defensively for 2 to 3 years. All right, cute. It's not what he was supposed to be.
Absolutely was not. They didn't sell this kid.
I don't want to hear that.
They didn't sell this kid as a defensive magician, a light hitting defensive magician. That wasn't what they sold us on. Now, after they saw what was actually, available to get from him, they sure changed their tune really quickly. But people don't forget.
No,
and we sure as shit don't forget at NYU, bro. We remember.
No. So, and that's why I'm not going to, I don't really want to compare him and Lombard because they're very different body types.
No, Lombard is different, bro.
Yeah,
Very different.
Lombard is
Also,
built a lot like a Correa, like the body type. He has a very good arm.
exactly.
He's come up I mean, look, he's come up through major league players. Like his bloodline is major league players.
Thank you.
It is very different. Like a lot
That's
of that
the biggest
coaching,
point.
a lot of that coaching that the Yankees may instill in him, might go not in a I don't want to say in a bad way. I'm not saying he's not going to listen or be disrespectful, but a lot of that could go one ear out the other. And it's like, I'm going to listen to what has always worked for me and what I already know. So I don't want to lump every Yankee prospect into the Anthony Volpe category. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I think Jason Dominguez is a very different player than Anthony Volpe is. And I think Dominguez, look, and people want to get upset about this. I'm like, yeah, did Jason Dominguez have the year that a lot of people want him to have? Not necessarily. Did he have a bad year? No. He didn't have, for the sporadic playing time, he didn't have a bad year. He had you could obviously look at Dominguez and go, oh, that's a better offensive talent than Anthony Volpe. There's no denying that. It's clear as day.
If you have to pick, who had a better year, Dominguez or Wells?
I'd have to say Wells.
I go Dominguez, but
I have to say Wells,
it's
just because
an conversation.
they had roughly the same amount at bats, actually, which is kind of crazy to think that they almost.
That's
came
why I
close.
compared them.
Catcher, 20-something homers, 70 RBIs, pretty good defensively. That's the only thing. But I've said this before: if Dominguez plays all year, and yeah, I know it's hard to say forget defense. I'm talking about offensive talent. He probably hits 15 to 16 home runs. He has 40 stolen bags, a 330 something off. That's a really good player. That's a really good player. And that's my problem overall. I mean, like, that's my thing. I don't want the Yankees to be known as, well, they believe that Volpe get rid of everybody because of Anthony Volpe. No. There are different profiles overall when it comes to those players. Felix Nunez says, Pete, with the Aguilar hat, respect. Okay, a little rid that. I'm getting a lot of love, Francis, by the way, for this ad, just saying. A lot of love.
There's a lot of, it's crazy, but the mental health crisis in America right now is really high, and it's got to send prayers.
Looks like it's moving to the Dominican Republic too a little bit by the sound of this. John says, what's your thoughts on Kurt Suzuki, former catcher, first Hawaiian-born manager in Major League Baseball? Interesting. It's definitely interesting because I really thought that was Albert's role. I thought Albert was going to get that, Albert Pujols, and he doesn't get it. He didn't get it, and I truly believe that his best spot is honestly going to be San Diego. If San Diego doesn't say, get here, give this guy this spot with Manny Machado being it, with Fernando Tatis, yes, to me, that's the spot.
I have a conspiracy theory. I don't think that it's
shit.
Yeah, I don't think that it's that Pujols didn't get the Angels job. I think that I think that Pujols is the guy that they wanted. I think that the conversation though I think when they realized, okay, Perry Minasian is also involved in these negotiations. He has a year on his deal, right? So whoever they hired this year was only going to get the year, which is why Kurt only got the year. And I think once that part of the conversation came up, I think that's where you lose Pujols, because he's like, well, right now I'm managing the Dominican team for the WBC, right? If I take this job, I can't do that, right? This is an opportunity that people dream about in my country. I'm passing up possibly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, because there's no guarantee that 3 years from now, they call me and say, hey, you want to come, you want to do it? We know you couldn't do it last time. Do you want to? There's no guarantee. Last time they had a different manager, and they did the time before that too. There's no guarantees. If I pass up this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you need to give me more than 1 year as a freaking manager. I'm not doing a trial thing here 1 year. I'm Albert freaking Pujols. You know my name. They know my name. They know my pedigree. My resume speaks for itself. I think once it got to that point, I think he was like, I'm gonna need more than that. Like, if we get to the point of talks and negotiations, I can tell you right now, the 1 year that, like, we're not comfortable with that. And I think that's where those talks stalled. And that's when it came out that the Angels were going to go in a different direction. Now, nobody.
And it happened quick. It happened very quick.
Nobody's reported, oh, that's what it was. It was the 1 year thing. But the moment that I saw Suzuki's deal, I was like, that's why Pujols isn't there. I was like, Pujols ain't taking a 1 year deal. I'm sorry. Not when a coach, a minor league baseball coach with no MLB experience, just got a 3 year deal in San Francisco. You think Pujols is taking less?
Yeah,
Albert Pujols?
No way in hell.
Albert
No
Pujols,
way
La
in hell.
Máquina. You think he's gonna take a 1 year? Nah, you watch your
No
mind.
way.
He's getting at least 2 years in an option. At
Yep.
least.
No doubt about it. As Alex says, Wells had a full season in the bigs. Martian has not. No. Jason Dominguez has not had his full share, obviously in the majors. We know that. JK says, I've heard people on this podcast say they like Wells with a laughing face. I don't understand it. He batted .230 last year and even worse this year. Austin Wells as a catcher in 400 at bats hit 21 homers. And yeah, are there obviously flaws there? Yeah, of course. This is a 26-year-old young catcher. Second full season basically now in the major leagues. If you want to call that a full season, it's somewhat that. But again, the power numbers are there. The defense has been there for Austin Wells. Lefty bat. I completely understand why there are people that say, I don't want to give up on Austin Wells yet. Now, don't get me wrong. If there was some sort of deal to be made for a very good first baseman and the Yankees maybe got to put Ben Rice at catcher a little more, I'm willing to sit there and say I can move on from Austin Wells if that's the case. But I'm not going to also sit here and just join this brigade of people that say Austin Wells sucks. I'm just not on that boat. I don't think Austin Wells sucks. Is he my favorite player of all time? No, not at all. I just think that maybe the expectations were a little high. And look, I've put high expectations. I said this offseason that I think he's going to be one of the better batters for the club, one of the better offensive talents on the team. He wasn't. But again, for a catcher to have 400 ABs, hit 21 homers, 70-plus RBIs, be a good defender, there shouldn't be much else that you really want there. Like, if he was to become a 235, 240 hitter, 20 homers a year, play good defense, that's a pretty premier catcher in this league, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's not many catchers out there that's doing what Cal Riley's doing. There's not many catchers out there that hit 260, 270 and hit 20-plus homers a year and play very good defense. There's not many guys like that. So I think you got to also understand the category and the player and the position that he plays and his role on the team. He shouldn't have to be a middle of the order bat. You got other guys that can do that. His OPS was okay, but on top of that, yes, if somebody said, what would you want to see? Yeah, I want to see a bat higher. I think he could be a 235, 240 hitter. I do like to see him having a 300 on-base percentage plus, at least bare minimum. His on-base percentage shouldn't be 275. Too good of an eye. He has a good eye. That shouldn't be his on-base percentage. So those are negatives I would call out. But I do think this is not as bad as a player as a lot of fans say he is.
I think what happens with Wells is, again, and to me, this is the actual fallout and the consequence of rocking with an Anthony Volpe the way that the Yankees have, is that now everybody looks at all of the prospects with Anthony Volpe glasses. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
I feel like
Volpe glasses.
everybody gets looked at with the Volpe glasses, and this is the issue, because you're looking at Austin Wells' production and you're just not happy and you're not content with it because you're like, no, we need more. We need whatever. It's like, guys, yes, could we get a little bit more? But let's be real. At the catcher position in Major League Baseball, where Austin Wells was currently in a bad year is not far off from where we need him to be to win. It is not the same case as Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe plays shortstop, people.
Yep.
The reason that we get so angry, the reason that we scream and that we say all these things, we bring up the numbers or whatever, and then the litany of mistakes, is because he is playing arguably the most premier position on the freaking field, and he is ass. Megan the Stallion.
Damn, that's ass.
White pants in Houston.
Hey, she had a fat ass.
You know what I'm saying? Que lo que, buenos días, comadre. But, bro, like, let's be real. That's why we do that with Volpe. You can't do the same with Austin Wells, bro. Austin Wells is a catcher, all right? The reason that they freaking are still glazing Kyle Raleigh like he was a donut is because he's a catcher. You understand? They're like, oh, my God, he's a catcher, whatever. They're making up stats to glaze the guy, okay? They're like, the most home runs postseason included. I didn't even know we counted that shit, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a record that Judge had before this year. But whatever. It's because he's a catcher, and catchers are not doing that anymore because the game has become even more demanding with the athleticism that people have, with the way that pitchers throw, how hard they're throwing. You know, the average fastball on the plate was like 97 this year.
It's crazy.
You know how crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Day in, day out to be there on one knee, catching 97 and moving, and then throwing, gunning the guy down at second, blocking the plate when somebody score. Like, come on, bro. It's a very demanding position, and where Austin Wells is, he's not far off from the production that we would need to be a winning team with him at catcher, okay? It's not the same. Same with Dominguez. It's not the same. Take the Volpe glasses off when you look at Austin Wells. Take the Volpe glasses off when you look at Dominguez. It is not the same case.
And let me throw this by you too here when people are and look, I'm not again, I don't want anybody to sit there like, oh, he's becoming a defender of Austin Wells. No, I defended Austin Wells. First of all, I defended him all year. Because again, I think you do got to recognize, as Francis just said, he's not in the Anthony Volpe glasses here. His 21 homers would tie him for 5th in the major leagues for catchers. Tied with Agus. Now, Agus also had, remember, Agus didn't just, he DH'd a lot. So there's a little bit difference there. But the guy had 136 more at-bats. 136 more at-bats. The prospect that is known for his pop had the same amount of home runs, not even fully catching, that Austin Wells had. Austin Wells' 71 RBIs as a catcher placed him 8th in Major League Baseball. Again, I'm not sitting here defending him, saying that there's not improvements that need to be made. I just think he's kind of being blown over the top. He's not as bad to this organization as Anthony Volpe has been. And I think that's very fair to say.
It's very fair. It's the
Austin
truth.
Wells was never an elite prospect. Nobody ever saw Wells and said, that, my friends, is a real elite prospect. A lot of people saw him and said, I think I'll hit at this level. I don't know how the catching's going to be. I don't even know if he's going to be a catcher. And Wells has proven a lot of that wrong. Major League Baseball, once again, it's not easy. He was never a known top prospect to be, this great player. But that's all there is to it. I think a lot of people kind of put too much on him because I think you're right. And it's kind of like what Ross said, right? Is that everybody's kind of saying, oh, I'm scared of every Yankee offensive prospect because of Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, but
different character traits. There's a lot of difference there, but
yeah, I wouldn't do that with the rest of the guys just because of what happened with Volpe, because like we just said about Lombard, there's so many different things that are involved there. The voices that are around these guys are so freaking important. All right. The mental makeup is so freaking important. Like, that's one of the things, like with Spencer Jones, right? If he does get a shot in 2026, one of the first things I'm going to be looking at is not so much, okay, like, when does he hit a home run or how does he look in the outfield, whatever. Yeah, I'll be looking at those things. But the first thing I'm going to want to notice is, what does he look like when the first slump happens?
right.
What's the body language?
Right.
What's facial expressions? Like, what does he look? And how does the slump look? Does he look lost? Does he look overmatched? Or is he just missing? You know what I mean? One of my favorite things about Ben Rice is when he quote unquote slumped, did he look lost?
No.
Did he look overmatched? Never.
No,
It was
never.
he was hitting the ball as hard as it kept finding glove, it wouldn't find grass or whatever. Even in the playoffs, he was hitting the crap. I mean, for reference too, Stanton kind of had a very similar postseason where hitting the crap out of the ball, just not finding grass, not getting into the seats, right? Ben Rice, when he was, a little bit off or whatever, he was not. It wasn't that he was looking lost. It wasn't that he was looking lost. Those are the things that I'm looking at with the prospects or whatever, and that's the things that really help me to make an evaluation on a guy. That's what I'm worried about.
Agreed. All right, folks. Well, it's been a while, but this is your favorite part of the show. Let's take a listen to your voicemails and what you guys are thinking of what is going on out there. Starting off with the one and only Uncle Dom is back in business, baby.
Hey, Kira,
Hey,
Francis, Little Manetti on the way, and the greatest community in the whole wide world. All my love to everyone there. As Aunt Mo was going on a week home,
Nice.
convalescing, and trying to get well, and I'm doing all I can to do that, Pete. Now we need the powers that be in the off-season to get the Yankees going. All those rumors are just that, Pete. We know what they got to do. And we know that a change has to come. I know a change has to come on my end, Aunt Mo, and the Yankees should be doing the same thing. So, Pete, I looked at the jukebox today. I said, let me get some Bronx blues here.
Okay.
Okay? I was by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since.
Good,
It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. But I don't know what's up beyond that sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come.
There it is.
Oh, yes, it will. Pete, that change has to come. Yanks, get off your ass. Find Hal. Do what you gotta do. I don't care if he's on the beach with Tom fucking Hanks. Let's go. All right? Move it. I'm doing what I have to do to get my sweetie better. You better do what you gotta do to get the Yanks better. We all know it. The U knows it. You know that we know it. So let's go.
Love to hear from you, Dom. Love hearing it. Dom is back to singing, baby.
He made me
That's
drop
a good
my phone.
thing.
Made me drop the phone. It was on the table. I smacked it down when he said the Tom Hanks shit.
Tom Hanks. He's on the beach with Tom Hanks. By the way, too, nobody still knows where Hal is. I mean, apparently Patrick Bet-David said he talked to him and he's in Italy. As always, he's stuffing cannolis down by the pound. Feet up, relaxing, having a good time. Yankees are here sucking ass.
PBD, at least PBD can find him, right? Because
at least he can, yeah. Because
we sure as hell can.
It'd be nice if he addressed his the fandom of Yankee fandom a little bit, but I guess you can't ask for everything, can you?
No.
Oh, here he is, my guy, the one, the only, Joey.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? It's Joey from the Bronxy, baby. How you guys doing? I think the mystery is solved. I found Hal.
Oh,
Hal.
shit.
Oh, Hal. Don't fuck with me, Hal. I found where he is. Unfortunately, it's not good news. He's in Simon's basement. Bloody nose, everything. It's a mess. And Simon's standing over him with a fucking bocce ball in his hand. He's like, come on, Hal. You gotta fire Boone. Fire Boone, Hal. And I was like, I can't do it. Bang! Right on the head. See what you made me do, Hal? Just fire him already. Fire Boone. He's playing ping pong all day. So, but anyway, look, everybody's talking about, it's the off season. Who should we trade? Who should we keep? Who should we dump? And I have to admit, I've lost interest in all that crap. I don't want to keep going with these guys.
I don't blame you.
The regime has to change. You know who we need to dump? We need to fucking dump the regime. This is a new era.
Agreed.
The Dodgers are showing that it's possible to go back-to-back to the World Series.
Yep.
Everybody was saying, baseball's changed. The dynasty days are over. It's not possible. Well, the Dodgers are fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And if they beat the fucking Blow Jays, they're going to win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
So it is possible.
Yeah.
The problem is you. You jerk-offs can't fucking make it happen. It's not that it's not possible anymore. So stop giving me this shit. Hal, at least you got to get some outside fucking partnerships going. We need that private equity money. We need to go up to $1 billion a year. Okay? 750, $1 billion a year. That's the fucking new era. You want to compete with the Dodgers? You want to go back to being the big, bad, fucking evil empire? This is the way to do it. We need some outside fucking Wall Street money. We need to fucking fire all these fucking people. It doesn't matter if they did their best. I don't give a shit. As long as they don't win, I don't give a shit. If they mean well or whatever. This is the new era. We need to switch to another lane. This is not working the way it is. Okay? So I don't give a fuck who they keep, who they dump, who they trade for. It's time for a new fucking beginning. It's a new era. All right. Take it easy. Bye.
Take it easy, my friend. And no, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. You know, it's I said at the beginning of the show, I've been saying it probably in every show I've done since the Yankees press conference they had, is that this is the lowest I've been on this team. So
Yeah.
am I gonna be impressed by the Yankees off season? Let's wait and find out. Let's wait and see. But a lot of the things that are clear as day and obvious that they have to do, they probably won't do. You know, it's funny because they released the top 10 offensive free agents, right, yesterday,
Yeah.
and they kind of put that out there on Bleacher Report, and I shared the graphic, and I just asked the fan base, I said, who are the top 3 names you would go after that would really improve this club? Oh, this is my best friend. This is my best friend right there. Who's the top 3 teams that would, you know, really improve this team?
Yeah.
And the top 3 players. And do you know, a lot of the people said Bo Bichette. A lot of people said Kyle Tucker. And then you had like your randoms that like, oh, get Kyle Schwarber because, you know, he's just Kyle Schwarber, so figure out something. And it's funny because we can all look around and go, all right, Yankees, like, you know where the problems exist on this club. Why don't you go ahead and address those? And maybe you just address it via money. It's right there for you. Address it via money. Like
Yep.
Nobody can convince me and go, yeah, Pete, but Bo Bichette's bad defensively. So, and I was like, wait a second. Would the Yankees be a better team? Well, no, there is no well. He's
That's what I'm
that
saying.
significantly better offensively than Anthony Volpe. Again,
Yep.
his left side is complemented by a guy that has great range at third base. It helps him. If you got concerns about that defense, it does assist. If Jazz stays, it does assist.
Yeah.
So if there was ever a time to go, let me make the decision. And as Francis said before, if George Lombard is as good as Lombard is, guess who's becoming a free agent very soon? Jazz. You could just say, I'm going to swap these guys. Hey, Bo, we're going to need you at second. Hey, Bo, we need you at third. What spot makes it better? But you bring in that offense potential, that prowess he had. The guy has been one of the best hitters at that position in Major League Baseball, and it's not even close. It's not even close. 300 batting averages, led the league in hits. This would have been his third year leading the league in hits, I believe, if he didn't miss time.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it's not as hard as the Yankees are making it out to be. It's just like what Joey said. They're refusing to be the big bad wolf. They're sitting back saying, well, we don't have to really be that guy that blows all the houses down. We can knock on the door and try to negotiate. And it's like, brother, but that ain't how the Dodgers ain't doing that. You're trying to do something that the dudes down there aren't doing. The dudes down there are knocking every building down. They're like, we're coming through and we're gonna win. If you don't wanna do the same thing, well, guess what? That's your loss. And that's what's happening right now.
I mean, it's very obvious when you look at the mentality and the approach, right? And I think that's what you got from that presser, and that's why people were so upset. I mean, because you hear a manager who's sitting there telling you, yeah, no, I believe this team was one of the better teams that I've had, and it was better than last year's team, and whatever. And we just got beat. We just got beat. Yeah, you keep just getting beat, Aaron. You keep just getting beat. And when the question comes to, and I believe it was Joel Sherman who asked it. He was like, well, what do you say to the fans who ask you, well, and then what's got to happen here for you guys to stop getting beat and finally get over that? And he's just, oh, you just gotta play better, just gotta play better, just gotta do it. It's like, what? And then Cashman gets up there and it's the same thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna look at everything, and Hal tells me to bring everything to him, and I'm gonna do that. We haven't had any conversations yet about anybody, but those are gonna start happening here soon. But the Yankees, it's obvious, it's clear as day. The Yankees are hoping to win. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
That's all it is now. The Yankees they're not playing to win. They're hoping to win.
Yeah, expect to win. They don't play to win.
I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about when it comes to I'm talking about the leadership. The leadership of the Yankees is a hope at this point. It's like, look, we're put a representative team together. We got some really good players, and we just hope that it's our year, because at the end of the day, that's what you got to do in the playoffs, right? You get in there, as long as you get in, once you're in, it's a hope now. It's just, you got to hope it's our year. You got to hope things fall our way. You got to hope. While on the West Coast, the Dodgers leadership is working to win. Where the Yankees hope to win, the Dodgers work to win. They spend the money.
Yep.
They do the research. They hire the people. They put the right people in the right positions to succeed time and time again. And when the blows come, they respond. They didn't have a bullpen, everybody said. Oh, they're going to get beat. They don't have anybody to come in late innings and pitch these guys. Their bullpen sucks. Yeah, it does. They got an almost 5 bullpen ERA throughout the playoffs. Guess where they're playing tonight? Game 1 of the World Series.
Game 1 of the World Series.
Game 1 of the World Series.
And guess who's on the mound? The guy they signed after they won the World Series last year, when everybody else was like, oh my God, why would the Dodgers do that? Dodgers like, we're gonna just keep getting the best players. And that's exactly what they did. As Francis just died here on me, but he'll be back. We'll see what happens there. But I do want to throw this out there by everyday Scotty Wright is 150%. Bo doesn't require a deep analysis. He would make us better, simple as that. And that's all you got to look at. I mean, legitimately, that is all you got to look at right there is that Bo just makes the Yankees better. And that's it. You don't really have to go much further than that at all. And I'll get Francis back on, folks, when he joins. I know he told me earlier he was having some internet problems, but let's keep the voicemails going. Here we go.
He's beating Francis Macho King in the house. How you doing? The underground, yeah. Well, hunt for a Yale continues. He's the postseason enters its last week.
Yep.
What are the Yankees going to do? Because if I'm in the driver's seat, I'm signing Tucker, Bichette, and Nakamoto and seeing if I can get Ronnie Enriquez from the Marlins. Yeah. But the Yankees would have to consult their spreadsheets before they can make a move. So I don't expect nothing out of these jamokes. Anyhow, but what people can expect is that on the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour and living color, funky like no other man about town. I knows how to get down. Got a shining luster, the ladies get flustered, always on time, I stop on a dime. My rhymes are chronological, got more spells than Professor McGonagall, yeah. Or Matthew McConaughey when I hit the elbow, it's 1, 2, 3, yeah. I could give a fuck who wins the World Series, put me in a room with trash can Allen baboons. I'll whip all their asses in those analytics goons. Cause I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me around against the fines. I'm not the man I think I am at home. Cause I'm a macho man. Dig it! With all my idiots, I'm gonna stay a macho.
Yeah!
The UWO. If you know, you know. Ooh, yeah! March out!
There it is. Oh, man, it feels good being back on All Rise with you guys, man. I miss all these amazing voicemails. Everybody going in today and hyped and excited and ready to go, baby. Oh, my goodness. I love it, baby. Let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear from you.
Hey, guys. Kyle Malay here.
There he is.
I really don't care who wins this World Series. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
rather see the Dodgers win it again other than the Blue Jays because I just cannot stand the Blue Jays. I like the Dodgers better than the Blue Jays, but whichever team wins. I don't care. But, yeah, I'm just ready for free agency to start, and it's just taking way too long to get this free agency started. Like, let's just get this World Series over with and get to the winter meetings. And yeah, well, just wanted to check in with you, and let's all have a good day. And I want it to be a good World Series. Don't get me wrong, but just get it over with. All right, guys, have a good day, and go Yankees. Get some good players this offseason. Go get Bichette and go get one of the Japanese players, and then we need another pitcher. Get Google. If he's available, we need to get him. But, all right, have a good day. Go Yankees.
I feel you, Malay. It's funny to hear Kyle Malay say, World Series, it just takes forever. Last year it didn't take forever because we were there. So, maybe the Yankees just, get deeper in the postseason and things would feel a whole lot better. But unfortunately, we don't. William Henry, the great one.
Hey, Pete, Francis, Shira,
There
chat.
he is.
William Henry here. First of all, just wanted to say thanks to you and all the NYYU team for another great year of Yankee baseball coverage. NYYU just keeps getting better and better. Regarding baseball, that press conference with Boone and Cashman was the equivalent for me of getting a baseball lobotomy. I've never been so down on the Yankees after having watched that clown show of a conference. Cashman came across about as likable as Vladimir Putin. My main comment, though, is regarding Boone. Boone was asked during the conference what it would take to put his team over the top, and his answer was, I don't know. While that is obviously true, and I'm going to give Boone credit for being honest, I think you've got to fire Boone just for that answer. At least give some kind of an answer, like firing on all cylinders, like Cashman did. Boone's answer to that question for me was like when Boone said a few years ago that he got bullied by an umpire. Remember? And Pete did a great video rant about that, saying you've got to fire him. It's like, Pete, like you manage a bunch of bank offices and one's not performing well, and you ask the manager how the numbers are going to get better, how you're going to get better, and he says, I don't know. You've got to get rid of that person, period. My other point is the Yankees don't sign Bo Bichette, and I don't think they're even going to call him, just as you said, Pete. That's going to prove to me another one of Pete's point is that the team is not a serious organization, which, again, you've been saying for years, Pete. I mean, Bo Bichette is such an obvious upgrade, and if they're worried about his defense, well, they've already got a poor defensive person at shortstop anyway in Volpe. Bichette's not only a good hitting shortstop, he's one of the best hitters in the league, period. So again, I'm prepared of a winner of the Yankees gaslighting us by doing some other moves. This will make the team better, blah, blah, blah. But if they don't sign Bo Bichette, they are not serious about winning the World Series, in my opinion. Anyway, for my guy Francis, hey, Francis, when are they going to do a remake of the movie Cool Hand Luke? Okay, I'm out. Take care. Bye.
Definitely should, no doubt about that. But no, William Henry, you're spot on, man. And it's funny in many ways because you really do look at everything. And again, I just simply asked the question. A lot of people, may want to. You don't know what you're talking about. What do you guys know? How are you guys gonna tell us what we know best? We're the New York Yankees. We are the most arrogant organization, and we're smarter than you. That, to me, is how the presser came across. Is that, yeah, we hear the noise. We hear the noise that people are making. We hear the conversations out there. We hear people criticizing us. But what do you know? What do you know? And honestly, I was offended by the way Brian Cashman sat up there. I was offended by the arrogance of Brian Cashman. Basically looking around being like, guys, like, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? Like, what do you want us to do? So we're supposed to go out there and listen to you guys? Like, you know more than us? We're the professionals. Shut up. Sit back and listen. Sit back and watch what we do. Shut up. Remember we should have won in 2017? Remember that? We got cheated, remember? Get the hell out of here. That's what the Yankees have become. That's why I was so disgusted by listening to them.
Morning, Pete. Bella Vista Bocce Master calling from Bella Vista, New Haven, Connecticut. How you doing? Well, we're gonna have the off season, huh? Well, I got to root for my mom's Dodgers because let's face it, I want them to win. I can't believe they're gonna bring Boone back. Those stupid assholes. If George is alive today. By the way, I hope we do get either Bryce Harper or Pete Alonso for first base. If we get these guys, Pete, then we're definitely the team to beat. Get Alonso or get Bryce Harper. I don't care what you have to do. But Cashman better not screw this up, otherwise he'll strangle his neck so bad he'll regret the day he climbed down the walls. Well, you have a good day, Pete. Rock on. NYY and gone forever. Smack it the likey. Hit it, the subby. And remember, Aaron Judge is a gift from God. I said Aaron Judge is a gift from God. And my World Series prediction, Pete, Dodgers in 4. Have a good day. Bye.
Wow, you think Dodgers sweep? I was going to give my World Series prediction. I got the Dodgers in 6. I think, and I will say this, it wouldn't shock me if Toronto wins tonight's game. I'm actually excited about calling this World Series. Like I told you guys before, I got more voicemails. Don't worry, I'm not going away. I just want to let everybody know that I will be calling tonight's game. Tomorrow night, I will not be calling the game. I might go live. We might be live late tomorrow night, maybe around 9, 10 o'clock or so. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. But I may do a live tomorrow night. But I will be calling tonight's game. And I want to say something here. I'm going to make a prediction. I think the Blue Jays could very well win tonight's game. The difference of every team the Dodgers have faced, besides, I guess, Milwaukee, kind of. I don't think Milwaukee's a big strikeout team, but I think tonight's game for Blake Snell is going to be difficult against Toronto's lineup. Bo Bichette is in the lineup, by the way. I think it's going to be tough for them tonight. And it's the same thing I said about Max Fried pitching against the Blue Jays and Carlos Rodon pitching against the Blue Jays. That team doesn't strike out, but they also do very well against left-handed pitching. I think tonight could be a long night for Blake Snell. We'll see if I'm right about that. I will be calling the game at 8 o'clock, so tune in for that one. Let's keep it going, folks. Here we go.
Pete,
got a couple of more.
Johnny Ripp from Baltimore.
There he is.
I got to tell you, since the end of the Yankees run, I've been pushing a ton of work around trying to make some money. And it's taken me away from you. And, Josh, I miss you and Francis. I miss you guys. Truth. Miss you. Anyway.
We're here, brother.
Love hearing you this morning. I got you here on All Rise. And excited for more. I want to know the baby's name at some point. Hope you're doing well. Can't wait to see you guys again. And obviously, where's Hal? Bye.
Facts. Where is Hal? Everybody, by the way, everybody is going to know Little Manetti's name very soon because guess what, guys? On Saturday is November 1st, and we may very well be seeing Little Manetti in the world at some point in December. So we're very, very excited about that. I tell you guys, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. It's funny because me and Jira talk about this a lot. It almost feels like our first child, just because he really is. Like, this baby's gonna almost be raised as like an only child. You know, we got adult kids, we got adult children. You know what I mean? I got a daughter that's 19 and a son that's gonna be 18. Believe it or not. So I'm like, I mean, yeah, we have adult kids here. So it's very, very interesting that it feels like we're resetting and we're starting brand new in a whole different time. And by the way, again, I want to shout this out. This has been the most support that we have ever had. Now, we had kids at a very young age, but we're much older now. But this is the most support we have ever had bringing a child into this world. So I'm a person who never forgets anything. I try my best not to forget things and what this community has done for us with just the baby registry. We talk about it all the time. Shocking. I told my mom about it recently. She was like, get the hell out of here. I said, I'm dead serious. Look at all the gifts that we've been given for this child coming here. And it's just unbelievable. I mean, me and Jira both, from both of us, we can never thank this community enough for what you guys have done for us. We're going to play 2 more voicemails, guys, and then we're going to wrap up.
Everyone, sorry, issue there. I think this year is very telling. If the Yankees decide not to spend money, put the nail in the coffin as far as the Steinbrenner name and era, because if you're not going to do it in Judge's prime, you know, it's over. I mean, really. I mean, the Dodgers can just keep on winning every year. If Kwan's available, you can't let the Dodgers beat you to him again. I mean, you know, we end up getting the second best players all the time for the most part.
Yep.
Go after Skubal. Give up what you need to get. You got the extended lockout to even sign him. You know, players get itchy.
True.
You have more time to sign this guy. Go after him, please. And my other player that, you know, if they're not going to go after, a lot of players would be to get Brendan Donovan. He's infield, outfield. He's been a guy we wanted for a couple of years. Contact hitter, great plate approach. And especially if we end up trading Jones and not signing Belly, you don't know, what's going to exactly happen. So I could say a lot more, but, that's it for now. Bye.
Appreciate you, man. And no, I'm with you, man. And look, Brendan Donovan has been a guy I've talked about also for years now. I mean, you got videos going back on that guy for quite some time. But yeah, you can see where it makes sense. You can see where it makes sense and where it can make the Yankees better. But the Yankees got to step to the plate. If you don't, just give up. It's over.
What's up, my brother? Rich here, David Doom. Yo, man, listen, I put out a call.
Okay.
I got Scooby and the rest of the gang firing up the mystery machine. and they got the Scooby snacks ready, and just we're sending them out to look for you know who. Hal.
Yep.
Where are you? You got some work to do now, buddy. All right. On a side note, I'm not going for any team. I'm going straight individual on this one. My guy, my favorite player of all time. I want to see Donnie Baseball win a ring. All right, my man. Everybody, have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.
My brother, Mr. Day of Doom himself. I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, just a quick couple of updates here that I want to run by everybody. Our first new merch drop, as I told you guys before, we're doing things very different this year. I am really trying my best to do everything in-house, not going through third parties and, you know, they dictate kind of how you make your merchandise. I don't want to do that. I want to do our thing our way. And we are doing that. I'm happy to announce the first drop is going to be ready to go. I do believe in November. We'll start taking orders for that. Everything will be ready in time for Christmas, be sent out to everybody. That is coming here very, very soon. Exclusive hat, t-shirt, Discord. You guys have seen it all. Stanley Cups, 40 ounces. Some really, really cool things that we are working on here at NYYU. On top of that, All Rise going forward. I haven't decided this yet, but I might change All Rise to 12 p.m. because it wouldn't interfere as much with early appointments and things of that nature. So not decided on that yet. They're going to continue to be 11 o'clock until, you know, further announcement, but working on all that stuff. 8 o'clock tonight, I will be doing Game Season Live for the World Series Game 1. I cover every World Series game. The only thing that I won't be covering is tomorrow night, but I do plan on potentially being live tomorrow night. So just let everybody know about that. But with that being said, guys, I am out. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing rest of your day. You guys are the best. And I will catch you next time. Peace out, baby. Talk to you guys later tonight. Peace.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next. We come to collect. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Now they calling my phone, yeah. But I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset. When they're at their best, we still not impressed. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Bought a watch with the stones, yeah. Caught them watching my throne, yeah. Ain't no one doing the shit that we doing. Ain't nobody moving the way that we moving. How about